Hey guys, in this video I wanted to quickly recap on the fairly recent announcement a couple of months ago from OpenAI around the um, GPT-4 updates and the Dali-3 updates. A lot of us were looking forward towards Dali-3. Dali-2 was fairly lackluster. It was amazing to begin with, particularly the in painting that you could do. But Dali 3. And this video is a little bit different than just giving you news. In fact, it's rather showing you examples written in Python on how to uh, integrate with these services just with simple Python script. Now, what it ended up turning into is the night of the announcements. I was pretty excited and I had a bit of downtime, so I decided to code up some scripts to share with my young son and my wife to try and give them some play a bit of a game in the evening. So I thought basically it'd be cool to use Dali 3 to create an image that they're interested in, and then use the also released text to speech voices from OpenAI to describe that image using the GPT-4 Vision API. And it would turn into this kind of fun game is that we could use our imagination to come up with the wildest image, but before we saw the image, we would hear this voice describing the image, and then we would look at the image and go, "Wow, that was really accurate." So let's look at some examples. So today is just going to be about some examples on this and how it can be kind of fun. I'm sure there's many practical use cases for this exact type Vision API. I'm already using it. I used the GPT-4 Vision API just recently because we moved into a new house, and when we move into a new house in Australia, you have to fill in an entry inspection report, and as a part of that, you take a lot of photos. One of the challenges is with taking a lot of photos is you should give them some kind of descriptive name so people have context of what room it's in and what wall it's on, what you're actually looking at. Is there a mark on the wall? Before someone clicks in and looks at the image, they need to know what's in the image. So giving it some kind of descriptive file names is really useful, so you can zip them up and send them off to the real estate agent to archive for when you eventually leave the property, if it's a rental. So GPT-4 Vision API, giving it specific context about the house we're moving into, and then an image per room. The Vision API did a really good job on providing some output file names for all the images. So I was actually able to take hundreds of images and rename them all within a matter of the script ran. Probably took an hour or so to run, probably another hour or so to write. So that's an interesting use case for the Vision API. Anyway, let's jump back into the original kind of fun game that we did in our household. So I'll switch over to my computer desktop and we can have a look at some of the code that we wrote. So here we are in VS Code. Essentially what we're doing is providing a prompt. An example prompt here that we'll start with is a lady wearing a beautiful Dior red gown in a ballroom, vintage. So this was something for my wife. It's sort of thing that very Downton Abbey style thing that she likes, or Beauty and the Beast. And then the first thing we do is call the image task, which passes in the image prompt, and we're doing an aspect. I've created this function to have an aspect of landscape, and then it outputs the description, or the output file, sorry. And then we have a GPT task, which takes in the output file and the prompt, which is simply what is the theme of these images. So it's like basically describe this image. And then there's an output description, that's output by the by the GPT-4 vision model, and then we do text to speech on that description, and it outputs a speech file. So I'll give you an example of that exact one. So here's the prompt. Remember, the prompt was a lady wearing a beautiful Dior red gown in a ballroom, vintage. So that's pretty good. Like the Dali-3 image generation is probably one of the best. I, of course, love Midjourney, but Midjourney, as far as I know, don't have an API. And so this was incredible that we could just do this. Right. So, but really, the first thing we would hear, the fun game is the audio file. So let's listen to the audio file.
The image shows a person wearing an elegant red gown and posing in a luxurious interior with classical architecture and opulent chandeliers. The theme can be described as high fashion or luxury, possibly a fashion photo shoot, with the setting suggesting a sense of sophistication and grandeur. The attire and setting together convey an atmosphere of elegance and refinement.
So that's pretty impressive. If you didn't see the image before, this is what you see now. So forgive me for showing the image first. In the next version, I won't. So let's switch it up a bit. And this is an example of a prompt for my son, who's only 3 years old, almost 4. So we said a blue and yellow monster truck, pickup truck, doing a massive jump over another pickup monster truck, themed as the Monster Jam zombie truck. Actually, that wasn't the one that I wanted to do. Anyway, we'll go with it. In a post-apocalyptic remote town near a service station. So let's give that a go. See what happens. One thing I have noticed is the Vision API sometimes just says, sorry, I can't help with that. I guess that's got to do with its censorship or something going on there. It interprets the image differently even though this is just a normal image. All right, so that's running. We'll see what that does. All right, so it's running the text to speech. All right, let's have a look.
The theme of this image is monster trucks. It depicts 2 oversized trucks with large tires, often associated with monster truck shows, where they perform stunts like crushing smaller vehicles and jumping over obstacles. The setting appears to be a deserted or abandoned gas station, adding a dramatic effect and emphasizing the power and size of these vehicles.
Okay, I'll just find the image. That's not it. Here it is. So yeah, zombie monster truck, post-apocalyptic world. Both of them are pickup trucks. I'd say that's pretty darn good. All right, so what's the next thing? I'll show you a little bit about how this code works too. So the image task is here. So as it's running, it does a print logging OpenAI Dalle-3 image task. Got a bit of aspect ratio logic here, and then we run the task directly. Model Dalle-3 prompt size, quality, style, and then the image format is we're using base 64 encoded images. So we've just encoded the images into a base 64 format rather than providing a URL. And then we output and decode that base 64 image and provide it a unique file name and then save it. So it's pretty straightforward. There wasn't a lot of work involved in creating that. And then the GPT task is sort of just a helper function that I use to cover a lot of GPT-4 tasks in general. It defaults to the GPT-4 11106 preview model, but if it's a file that we've provided, we always use the vision model. And then it just does a few little things about encoding the image, and everything is handled inside this task. And then it does the call and returns the returns the image, and then we decode it. Uh, all right, and then the text to speech integration is pretty simple too. This is just the output file. And then this is the OpenAI audio speech create endpoint, and then we're using this voice with this model, and you just pass in the input text, so it's quite simple as well. And then I just stream it to a local file. All right, so let's give another one of these a shot. Let's try this last one, and then that'll be it. So this one is if you're interested in this code, I can put it up on GitHub. It's a pretty fun little game to play with your family, particularly if you've got young ones with wild imaginations. So this one is a detailed Cyberpunk Optimus Prime transformer. They probably won't use the exact figures due to copyright things. But yeah, with a robot with a sword and shield in a post-apocalyptic city and a massive storm in the background. So that's run now. So let's have a listen.
The theme of this image is monster trucks.
Yeah, that's not the right one. It might not have reloaded, so I'll just load this one again.
The theme of this image is monster.
Oh, sorry. I didn't save it. So here it is running again now. That'll be done in a second. It's running the Dali-3 API call. And then it will do the text-to-speech. So it's encoding the image, running the GPT-4 Vision API, and then it will do the text-to-speech. So overall, it usually takes around 30 seconds to run. All right, here we go.
The theme of this image is science fiction, featuring a large futuristic robot amidst a dystopian cityscape. There's a dramatic sky with lightning, which along with the robot's glowing blue eyes and weaponry, gives the scene a dynamic and intense atmosphere. The setting suggests a world where advanced technology and possibly conflict are prominent elements.
That sounds right. That's the wrong image. Here we go. So it's a pretty good description of the image that was created. So yeah, your mind's probably running wild with some of the things you could do with this in terms of monetizing it and building out some great ideas. You could storyboard an entire book and then narrate it. Some incredible things. You could create videos. There's lots of other tools you can also use to animate these videos, these images now, and just tell a compelling story, even a kid's story. Anyway, it just sort of blows your mind how far we've come in in about a year since Dali 2, and then even in prior to that, sort of all started happening at the same time. All right, great. If you're interested in seeing some more examples, be sure to like and subscribe. And thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.